And just like that, Tucker is back. Let's talk about where. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Tucker Carlson returning with his show, or a similar version of it, immediately. Now, he will not be back on Fox. He will not go back to CNN. He will not go back to MS-13 DNC. He will not go to Newsmax or anywhere like that. He's going to air his show exclusively on Twitter. Now, this is really, really interesting. I did not expect this, maybe a YouTube, but there's a particular reason why he's going to Twitter and nowhere else. And no, I don't think Elon Musk is involved with this particular thing directly, maybe indirectly, but not directly. Now, before I continue, let's take a look at some reaction from the other side of the aisle, the MS-13 DNC, the CNN, the CBS's. Let's talk about what they have to say. Then we're going to get into Tucker Carlson's announcement and also a statement from Elon about the whole situation. And without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Okay, well, listen, Twitter was already under fire from misinformation, disinformation, all-out lies, anti-Semitism, racism, before Elon Musk took over.
Yes, it is Brian Stelter, but no, it's not CNN. I think he's on NBC now, like one of their online-only things. Pretty interesting.
Now it's gotten kind of crazy, right? Seemingly unmoored, if you will. Will anybody be able to police what Carlson says, or is this the point? It's just a free-for-all.
I think this is the point. It is a free-for-all. It's what Elon Musk wants to provide. This move by Tucker may cement the idea of Twitter as a right-wing website.
Okay, so they're trying to say that Tucker going to Twitter, that means Twitter is a right-wing website. They're kind of insinuating that Elon Musk is involved here, that he courted Tucker Carlson to come to Twitter. So that's their whole thing, right? And Twitter is not a right-wing website. It's just a place where right-wing people are not just booted off of the platform for no reason. They're not kept away from the platform like they are on mainstream media, even on the place like Fox News. But different story, I digress. Let's get into what Tucker said about the whole situation, and we'll get a little bit more context, perhaps.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. You often hear people say the news is full of lies, but most of the time that's not exactly right. Much of what you see on television or read the New York Times is in fact true in the literal sense. It could pass one of the media's own fact checks. Lawyers would be willing to sign off on it. In fact, they may have. But that doesn't make it true. It's not true. At the most basic level, the news you consume is a lie of the stealthiest and most insidious kind. Facts have been withheld on purpose, along with proportion and perspective. You are being manipulated. How does that work?
Before he gets into it, what he's saying here is 100% correct. It's 100% facts. You are being manipulated, although they'll give you the truth, but they'll present it in a way that manipulates you to the point where you believe something else. Let's hear him break it down.
Let's see. If I tell you that a man has been unjustly arrested for armed robbery, that is not, strictly speaking, a lie. He may have been framed. At this point, there's been no trial, so no one can really say. But if I don't mention the fact that the same man has been arrested for the same crime 6 times before, am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you. And that's what the news media are doing in every story that matters, every day of the week, every week of the year. What's it like to work in a system like that? After more than 30 years in the middle of it, we could tell you stories. The best you can hope for in the news business at this point is the freedom to tell the fullest truth that you can. But there are always limits. And you know that if you bump up against those limits often enough, you will be fired for it. That's not a guess. It's guaranteed. Every person who works in English language media understands that. The rule of what you can't say defines everything. It's filthy, really, and it's utterly corrupting. You can't have a free society if people aren't allowed to say what they think is true. Speech is the fundamental prerequisite for democracy. That's why it's enshrined in the first of our constitutional amendments. Amazingly, as of tonight, there aren't many platforms left that allow free speech. The last big one remaining in the world, the only one, is Twitter.
And you know what he's saying right here about Twitter being like the last place for free speech is pretty much on point. I mean, a lot of the big social media platforms are heavily censored. And some would say, well, you got to have some censoring, ABO. You got to have some content moderation. Content moderation is not the equivalent to outright censorship when it comes to certain political things. People on the right have been routinely censored because of their conservative beliefs, while those on the left are not. And that right there is a problem. And that problem exists all over the internet and Twitter. Ever since Elon, it's been a place where that's not been happening. And that's why your Brian Stelters and everybody else on the left are upset, because they no longer have the monopoly on the ability to express themselves freely on social media. We have that on the right as well.
Where we are now. Twitter has long served as the place where our national conversation incubates and develops. Twitter is not a partisan site. Everybody's allowed here, and we think that's a good thing. And yet, for the most part, the news that you see analyzed on Twitter comes from media organizations that are themselves thinly disguised propaganda outlets. You see it on cable news. You talk about it on Twitter.
And when he says cable news, please understand, he's talking about Fox News as well, because I think that his lawyers are going to go after Fox, breach of contract and some other things going on, and they leaked his personal communications and emails and text messages and whatnot to the media, to Media Matters and whatnot. So that's going to be an issue right there. So please understand, he's not just trying to pick on left media. He's picking on media, period.
The result may feel like a debate, but actually the gatekeepers are still in charge. We think that's a bad system. We know exactly how it works, and we're sick of it. Starting soon, we'll be bringing a new version of the show we've been doing for the last 6.5 years to Twitter. We'll be bringing some other things too, which we'll tell you about. But for now, we're just grateful to be here. Free speech is the main right that you have. Without it, you have no others. See you soon.
All right, there you have it, TuckerCarlson.com. Y'all check him out. He will be over on Twitter.com exclusively with his new show coming very soon. So if you guys don't have Twitter, I suggest you go ahead and get it. And what I'm showing you guys right now is a statement from Elon, because people automatically, of course, Tucker goes to Twitter. They think this is an Elon thing. He courted him. He's going to give him some money, all this and that and the third. But let's just see and read what Elon has said for himself. And of course, I'll place everything in the description box. If you're on IG, visit, link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. You can see that I'm on the website right now. This is not fake. I'm reading it verbatim. Let's go ahead and check it out. He says, on this platform, unlike the one-way street of broadcast, people are able to interact, critique, and refute whatever is said. And of course, anything misleading we will get at community notes. And if you don't know what that is, basically, it's like a community sourced fact checking. The way that fact checking works, briefly, I'm gonna get off on a little tangent. The way that fact checking works on a place like Facebook is that they hire like third party companies to come on and do it. And a lot of times they're biased. They got political motivations. They have incentives to make things appear to be a certain way, to provide their own quote unquote misleading information, to make you think a thing that's true when it's not really true. It's like Snopes, how they've been kind of infiltrated. You go to Snopes.com to find out if a thing is true or not, and then they'll give you a biased opinion about a thing if it benefits them politically. But there's no incentive for that on community notes. Okay, so it'll be a tweet, and up under that, it'll be some notes that come straight from the community with no financial incentive, no political incentive. You see, it's more of a neutral, non-biased thing. But he continues, I also want to be clear that we have not signed a deal of any kind whatsoever. Tucker is subject to the same rules and rewards of all content creators. Rewards mean subscriptions and advertising revenue share coming soon, which is a function of how many people subscribe and the advertising views associated with the content. I hope that many others, particularly on the left, also choose to be content creators on this platform. So if you guys are not really understanding what he's talking about right here, okay, on Twitter, you can turn on a subscriptions feature. And it's kind of like the way it is right here on YouTube. You can subscribe to me. You could pay a certain amount of money per month. You could get certain things for that. Or you might just want to subscribe to them just because you're a fan. And advertising revenue share is the same way it is on YouTube. We get paid, if you're monetized, we get paid from ads that YouTube places on the video. Now, he says that's coming soon. So that'd be pretty interesting. You can make money from Twitter videos. That wasn't a thing before. even if there was no monetization specifically on Twitter, you would still be able to make money because Tucker has a really big draw, a lot of a really big audience. Advertisers will follow him. He can have stuff in the background. He can do ad reads himself on the air. So even without Twitter.com monetization, he's still able to make money on this show. A big bag of money. So that's that right there. Tucker Carlson coming to Twitter.com exclusively for his new show. I'm sure there'll be clips and whatnot uploaded to perhaps Rumble and YouTube and other social media platforms. But the bulk of the show will be on Twitter.com. So if you don't have a Twitter, go ahead and sign up for it. This is really interesting. As I close, I want to say this. I think he picked Twitter because he realizes that this is a true place where you have freedom of speech. Some of the other platforms, not so much. So, hey, good on him. I can't wait to see the brand new show. I'm excited more than I am. Like, there's no real need anymore to watch Fox News. I'm excited. This is going to be a great venture for Tucker. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about his decision, Tucker Carlson, that is, to go over on Twitter with his show, with his the new show he's going to have? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about the reaction from Brian Stelter and everybody else about, oh, Twitter's a right-wing website, all this, that, and the third? Whatever your thoughts are on that, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Tucker Carlson can go anywhere. It doesn't really matter where he goes. I think he picked Twitter again because he's able to express himself freely without worrying about, oh, are they going to try to do this and do that? They're going to try to censor me. I'm going to express myself freely on this platform. I think it makes perfect sense. And when they start to monetize videos, that'll be a good draw for other content creators to come to the platform. I think it's a great thing. I think it's fantastic. So shout out to him. Shout out to Elon. Shout out to everybody over at Twitter.com. This is going to be great for you guys. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.